Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with reference recordings. And have we got a reference? Today is a major reference because we're talking about Schoenberg's Gurrelieder. Yes, the big, gigantic, late romantic monster piece that's been recorded really an amazing amount of times, considering how expensive it is and how huge it is, and also how kind of, well, let's put it this way, catch as catch can it is as a work. I mean, I did a talk on the best Gurrelieders, and, where I sort of criticized the piece, and people got like hysterical that I would dare to criticize this piece because it just has so much glitz and glamour and it's so huge. But it's like a lot of things that are so huge. It's enormous, but it's also kind of disappointing because, you see like all these millions of people, but what Schoenberg is preoccupied with doing as often as not is handling delicate colors at lower dynamics when all you want to do is see all these people scream and shriek and carry on and make a huge noise. I mean, it's got chains and stuff and, there's so much in it, but it doesn't do the in it stuff frequently enough for me. That's me. I love it. It's beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous. But like the entire first part is like one gigantic decrescendo. It starts with like twilight and goes downhill from there. And the sun doesn't come up until the very end, the last 5 minutes, when everyone is screaming and yelling. And then it's just like a big gigantic muddle. But that's okay. It's the thought that counts. And when it comes to Gurrelieder, it's just the concept that is quite remarkable. And in a great performance, it's overwhelming. It really is. I'll never forget the first time I actually saw it was the Baltimore Symphony under Sergiu Commissiona. And he did it with the combined Baltimore Symphony and Peabody Conservatory orchestras. And, there's this big interlude, in the first part, between the end of all the love songs. The first part is nothing but Valdemar and Tova, his girlfriend, his mistress, who was poisoned by evil Queen Dagmar, who never shows up in this piece. But anyway, they sing love songs, one after another, until you're like... And then there's this big passionate interlude, and then follows the song of the wood dove. And the wood dove, because it's like the wood bird and Siegfried, remember with that thing? It's where Schoenberg got it from. They have talking birds in a lot of these pieces. And the talking bird shows up and says, Tova is dead. Yeah. So there's this big passionate interlude. And during the big passionate interlude, which is just this giant, thick Wagnerian exordium, the Peabody Orchestra went left and the Baltimore Symphony went right, and they just detached. It wasn't actually all that easy to tell because the music is just so thick. But I had my little score with me, and I'm sitting there with my little flashlight looking at it, the old Lyric Theater in Baltimore. And eventually they rendezvoused further down the road in time for the wood dove to sing about, Tova getting killed. So anyway, it's a very difficult work to record because it's so huge, because you have to be able to have both amplitude in the big moments, but also detail in the intimate moments, which are the majority of the work. And you can't have them all just, evaporate into this giant acoustic halo, which is always sort of a threat. And it's fascinating to me that the best recording, actually, and the reference recording in many respects, is still, the reference recording without a doubt, this one. Seiji Ozawa and the Tanglewood Festival Chorus of the Boston Symphony Orchestra, with an amazing cast of soloists. And that's what really does it. It's the cast of soloists that make the piece, because it's singing throughout. And, for the rest of it, well, you've got to have an accompanist, a conductor who keeps it moving, yes, and who has a keen ear for detail, all of which Ozawa supplies in abundance. It's one of the few performances that never dies. It really does. And it sounds marvelous. It won a gramophone award. There you go. That just proves it, doesn't it? But really, it's a Grand Prix du Disque d'Académie Nationale du Disque Lyrique. I mean, yeah, this is the reference. I mean, it's the reference, the international reference. Everybody says so. There's no question about it. And it sounds glorious. And this cast. We have James McCracken as Valdemar and Jesse Norman, as Tova. And Tatiano Troyanos is the wood dove. I mean, that's the trio. They're fabulous. Then you've got the peasant is David Arnold, who's in Klaus the Fool, is Kim Scone. Klaus the Fool is a character tenor. He's kind of like, you want a voice kind of like, Major General Stanley in the Pirates of Penzance, And then the Sprecher, the speaker in the great hunt of the wind and things and the whatever the hell happens in the last part, that's Werner Klemperer, as in Colonel Klink, son of Otto Klemperer, which is really great. I saw Werner Klemperer recently on an old Perry Mason rerun. He was a very good actor. Anyway, and it was recorded live in Symphony Hall in 1979, and it has my cough in it. Yes, I was there, coughing away. And so it's marvelous. It's absolutely marvelous. And really, it's a beautiful recording. It has that sense of occasion, but it never, Ozawa could be criticized because he was not a conductor known for his indulgence of grandiosity. He was basically a humble kind of fella, in as much as a narcissistic artist can be a humble fella, like all these conductors. But I mean, he was, and he didn't go in for big splashy heaps of noise and effects. He really didn't. But here, that serves him really well, because the big splashy heaps of noise really do sort of take care of themselves, as long as you let the orchestra play and the chorus scream, and he does. They play and scream with the best of them. And for the rest of the time, he just shapes a beautiful, effortless performance that's not trying to score profundity points. He lets his singers sing, and he realizes wonderful, beautiful accompanimental textures from the orchestra with the Boston Symphony in top form. It was really an event, and it sounds like an event, but it all stays in scale. I mean, the scale is huge, but it's in scale. And so the piece doesn't bog down, and it doesn't dribble along, as Valdemar and Tova dribble, and Klaus the Fool talks about, what happens actually is, just so you're on top of this wonderful story, is that Valdemar in part 2, which is only 6 minutes long, curses God because Tova is dead, and he's upset. And because he curses God, it's Franck's tone poem, Le Chasseur Maudit, which does everything Gurrelieder does, only in 12 minutes or something like that. So he curses God, and so he's doomed to hunt throughout eternity with his men, whizzing around hunting for some reason. So before the ghostly hunt happens, you've got this fool who sees the ghostly hunters hunting, and he's afraid. And then there's a speaker who pops out and recites this nonsense poem about a goose-footed duck something, I don't know what, but the sun comes up and disperses the evil spirits. And it ends with a hymn to love and the sun and daylight and brightness and all of that good stuff. And it's beautiful. It's nonsense. It's just unbelievable nonsense. And it's beautiful. But this is a performance that makes it sound like something serious. Of course, it was serious. Schoenberg was always serious. I mean, the man had not a shred of humor anywhere. And so this is, a glorious reference recording of the Gurrelieder. I mean, there is none better. There still hasn't been, even though, digital sound ensued very shortly after this, actually. This was 79. This is analog, thank God. Digital stuff popped up right after that, because the next major project that they did was the Mahler 8, which was digital, and actually didn't sound as good as this did. Not nearly. So there you go, you see. That's what happens. Anyway, it's splendid, and I suspect there shouldn't be a lot of controversy about this choice. I know a bunch of you will chime in, even though I tell you not to, and say, well, my favorite one is bleh. Well, nobody cares what your favorite one is. We're talking about the reference recording. And this is it. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me, and take care.